Well, you know what? I want to ask you about this. You are playing yourself. How do you? So, when you're watching, you're seeing how Junior. There's definitely a drive, and ambition, and energy. There's that word again, energy. But there's also a naivete about him. Because he's just not. He's not world weary like Henry is. So, how did you make sure that you separated your performance as Henry from your performance as Junior?
Well, what was really great that Ang did is before we even met, he had gone through all of my filmography, and he grabbed things that, he grabbed Fresh Prince, he grabbed 6 Degrees of Separation, it was Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black. And he grabbed the scenes, and he was sort of walking me through moments, and he would look and he'd say, "I love very much what you have done in this moment here in 6 Degrees of Separation. In Bad Boys, this one was good, but don't ever do this in my movie." So we sort of created. A language of the old characters and the moments of what he was trying to capture. There was it's funny, there's a thing before you learn how to act, there's a powerful thing that you have from not knowing, and it's really difficult to recapture that not knowing. And we found these moments, we found these really honest moments in some of my early work. But I would say of all the things, that was the most difficult part. It almost felt like learning how to do some bad acting, like go back to bad acting, right? Because there's an honesty before you actually learn where the light is, and you learn how to stand, and you learn what makes people clap for movie stars in the in the theater. And it's like letting go of all of that stuff was really difficult.
Clive, the scene where we have Henry and we have Junior in the same scene, and there's it's a very human scene. Everyone is interacting with each other. Take us through what it was like to make a scene like that when you have Will, but you also have Junior in the scene, but maybe Will wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got it.
No, it's
something good, Clive.
Most of my stuff was with young Will, so we did. And it's true, like you can talk about all the technology and how amazing it is, but unless you've got the acting and the drama and the script, and people are feeling things, I don't know how much that counts for, really. And so a lot of the time I was acting with Will with this huge head rig on, which was for all the stuff they're going to do later. But I have to say, the truth of the matter is, because he's so focused and so such a good actor, all of that disappears very quickly. And I don't even see it. I have to avoid it because he. But
that was the thing with cameras on. So every time we had a scene together, I had this long thing and it had cameras on. So we'd be talking and we'd be talking. How could you do this to me?
But honestly, all of that soon disappears, and you end up, it's like you're acting a scene like you act any scene. Like you're focusing on what's important, and you act as you would in any other movie. There's just this huge operation going on around it.
One of the high points of the film, action-wise, is the bike chase. And there's this part of the film where you're following Henry, like it's all sort of one take. So again, this goes back to like the biggest challenge of the film, to look invisible, that you're not drawing attention to like the Junior aspect of it, but it's still a great scene. So what were the challenges to really bring that scene to full fruition, because it is such a visceral, edge of your seat moment?
I think what was really cool is that, especially with this format, it shows so much detail, and because of that, we went to great lengths to film as much as we possibly could. There was this camera rig is this 80-pound combination to film native stereo, and it's put on the back of this e-bike. So the guy who's driving the camera is as skilled, if not more, than the stunt guys that are driving behind it, tearing through traffic, popping up on walls. But we filmed that for real. We had stunt riders, and then we went back and we'd replace Junior's torso to put Junior on there. But we tried to do, only use CGI where we had to. But there were some fun things as well, because you are in the moment. Aang experimented with what is it like if you are on that bike and you're experiencing it. And those are things you haven't seen before. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the things in the process of creating a young Will, we not being able to go back in time 30 years in the past and do everything we need to do to acquire a young Will, we start with current day Will. So we build that digital human up to a certain spec, and then we move from there to get to the young one. What that allowed us to do in the bike scene that was kind of fun was we were able to say, don't worry about how close you get to the stunt performer, right? Have him drive right up into the camera, and we'll replace what we need to replace, so it becomes Will Smith. So it just makes for such an interesting stunt scene to be able to see your actor playing both roles and not just constantly trying to look away from camera so you can't tell that it's not the same guy.
And we wouldn't cut either. That was another really fun thing, is that, a lot of action sequences are a lot of cuts to hide trickery. We didn't have that luxury. We extended takes, and we had to, for the same thing, to allow you're following Henry on the bike through this alleyway, and then you come all the way to the end, and he comes right to camera. Well, there was a stunt driver for the bulk of that, but then we found a way to get Will's performance in at the very end as well, and just make it one seamless thing.
And that's the thing that I love also, and because everyone is looking at young, the Junior character, everyone is watching. People don't actually realize there are full digital old Henry shots in the film also. So there are moments when full frame close up shots are old. It's hard for me. I'm like, young Will, old Will. It's like young me, old me. It's like, so that there are full digital shots of old Will, old Henry in the film also, and that's when you can really tell that it works, when people aren't thinking about it. It is a full buy.